Welcome back to the show, Drumheads, where two pipe band drummers love to talk about smashing things. Andrew, let's smash
And
out the park today. What we got for the boys?
That could even be smashing up my kitchen. That could be smashing up my van.
I'm smashing up my house at the minute. I'm flogging everything else on Facebook Marketplace. I'm getting out of my building and into a new one. Life is just...
Listen, here's a quick one, right? As long as Diana is making sure that your practice time is sacrosanct, all right? So, Diana, get the weights lifted out the loft. Make sure that you clean up the flare and clean up the kitchen. Make sure you wash and dry the dishes. Make sure you feed this poor guy, right? Because every second that he's got, he needs to be getting his MSR off for the Worlds. So, guess what, Diana? And you're helping his art. This isn't any sort of kind of abuse. Heather does it for me. She's always going to be on my court, helping me, make me create art. In fact, I'm sure she loves it, Jace, secretly.
Yes.
So maybe Diana would love it secretly as well.
She's harnessing, she's helping to bring out my inner genius, right? And this is that moment. This is what we're talking about when we're on top of the podium at the Worlds and they're like, "You're the champion." And I get up there and say, "I want to thank my missus, for..."
Yeah.
This is that.
This is this moment. And do you know what else? I know Heather shouts abuse at me, and throws things at me when I'm not pulling my weight, right? But I know she's just doing that for a laugh. She's not actually meaning that.
Actually mean it.
I'm like, she doesn't mean that. That's all right.
That's fun.
Hey, you carry on. What do you mean? What do you mean you want me to do that? I'm busy here. You can see I'm busy.
Good, aren't you? You are too good.
And I'm like, yeah. Oh, they love that. Oh, I can see the hate mail. Can see the hate mail building up. Right, we get talking people. We get shout outs.
Oh, yes.
I'd like to shout out somebody. I'm going to shout out Craig Laurie. I don't know if he's way back from South Africa, right? But a social media messaged, and I know that's problematic, as Stevie Crichton will testify to, because I ended up texting his Wayne. He's not his Wayne, but his son. And he's like, "Who's this? Andy Laird, blah, blah, blah. Rang guy, doesn't matter." So I keep making an arse of it on social media, texting the right people. But Craig Laurie, when you're right back from South Africa, pal, mind and bring me back biltong, right? So for them that hasn't had biltong, it's a taste sensation. Right?
You got to get good stuff though.
Listen, original. I don't want mad flavors. I want original, the original and best biltong. Just straight as it came out of some sort of mad guy's roof, after dry roof. I want that. That's good stuff. So that's his shout out. Rab McCutcheon, meanwhile, back at the ranch, talking the other side of the world, is currently in Papua New Guinea. Well, he might actually have got there by now, because I know it's like a camel trek to get there. Planes, trains, automobiles. It's not actually planes, trains, and automobiles. It's just planes, and planes, Andrew. Do you know what I mean?
That's a wild place to be. So I've heard.
Well, it's not his first rodeo there. He's been there a few times. He's actually quite a permanent feature down there in Papua New Guinea. I think they're going to make him one of the big chiefs or something like that. Chief Rab McCutcheon.
You could go
big
there
feathers
and mention his name. And people like,
I'll be like, oh, I'll get off the plane. It'll be like one of the films, it'll string me up. Like, remember in Indiana Jones, when they're like that, and the guy in Indiana Jones is holding up the thing? That'll be Rab holding up the drum. I'm going to Madonna. I'll be like, ready to kill me. Oh, Rab, get him off me. If we speak to them in their own language, they'll know.
He's like,
this guy's a fraud drummer. But no, listen, leave me. I don't know what goes on in my head.
Rab, you're only up the road from me, mate. Pop down. Say hello. Help me with the swords.
Come and say hello, even though it's thousands and thousands of miles away. Talking about thousands of miles away, you asked me a question. One of the drummers, and it's Common,
yes,
who is a Scottish guy living in Australia.
He's an Aussie boy.
I don't know. Yeah, I suppose he calls himself Australian now, right? He's been in the Australian Army and all that. It's citizenship.
You've done it.
But really at the bottom of the line, right, there'll always be that Scottish cynicism about him that'll always betray him. Do you know what I mean? When the most anti-Scottish thing is fake razzmatazz.
Yeah.
I think that's a Scottish test, right? See if you see fake razzmatazz, right, and you're into it. There's a wee button goes like that. He can't be Scottish. What? He's buying into this. Go you guys. You're like, right, that's fake.
But Australia will give you the real one. It'll give you the real rap. Do you know what I mean?
Well, then maybe there's something in that then.
Maybe he's a happy guy now.
So he lives in a place called, I don't know what the place tape name is, right? But the state that he lives in is Queensland.
Yeah, probably Townsville.
So that's like miles away for you, isn't it?
16-hour drive, I almost did it. And then the day that I was about to take off, COVID-19 lockdowns came in.
You should have, you know what you should have done?
The bags packed, ready to go, road trip.
You know what you should have done? You should have pretended that you never heard the message.
Oh, I would have been a Queenslander by now. And that's
you could have just, and then you'd have been stuck there. They'd be like, you can't go back now. You're like, oh. Right. So that's my shout-outs. Kind of clear, done, I think. And also, Matthew Brownlee for doing well at the Ulster Solos. Stevie Crichton done well at the Ulster Solos. So I was thinking, whilst I'm on the chain of thought, we know we've got a fan, wee Matthew. I'm thinking maybe we could make him a wee kind of mini ambassador guy. No, like a mini ambassador. No, not a diminished ambassador. Like a real ambassador. No, like
real deal.
Oh, you know how they do these programs where they do like kids dancing in ice and all that, right? Where it's good to see that the Waynes do what adults can do, right?
Right.
But I think they kind of take something away. I genuinely think that the wee guy's a great enough wee drummer, so I'm not trying to make him a wee ambassador guy. I'm making him just an ambassador guy. The ambassador guy. So I think we could fun out some way how best to do this, how best to kind of manipulate that Matthew, if he wants to do it, could be one of your ambassadors for Northern Ireland, anywhere he goes, I suppose. Who are you?
Matthew Brownlee, you've officially just been extended an invitation, a promotion.
Yeah, you're promoted to the ambassador.
You've gone from drumhead to ambassador.
He's chief drumhead. Chief drumhead.
Wow.
VIP drumhead.
Cheers.
He gets the wee red curtain away, innit?
He's a rezo head.
The rest of his weight there. Which might be pertinent at the Worlds, because even though he's going to be competing against us at the Worlds, because we think we're going to be grade 3, we don't know what kind of half we're going to be in, but I think they're just in grade 3 because there's a lack of numbers in the other grade. That doesn't matter. We're getting into semantics. Bottom line is, technically, he could be us versus them. But I don't really care. I know some pipe bands do care about it, right? And they come out with all the back chat, no, they were rotten and even better than them. They were rotten. Did you hear them? No, but I know they're rotten. But did you hear them? No. Right, okay. So forget about that. But what I was talking about is hopefully we can get some sort of set up at the Worlds and he can come round and visit us. I'm thinking of setting up the bar there, as in the bar that you get in Drumhallar. I'm thinking of setting that up in the big gazebo that we're getting.
Yeah, sweet.
So hopefully we can. Well, I'm just trying, and lemonade and lager, so you can have a shandy. But I'm actually thinking. Well, actually, no, there'll not be any alcohol because I don't think you're allowed any alcohol unless you buy it at the exorbitant prices that they charge at the pipe band contest that is the Worlds, which is outrageous for a plastic tumbler of drink. And by that includes soft drinks. The prices are just outrageous. You're like that. That's not good. It's not good for families. Not good for families. Not good for hardworking people. They don't want that. We want the best prices, not the expensive prices. People sitting there trying to, look how much I can spend money. No, rubbish. No into it. But there you go. That's the modern world.
Yeah.
So that's about the shout out. It's done. But social medias. You mean following any social media?
I woke up the other day to about like 40 messages from my old mate lady. And I'm just looking through the phone. I'm like, what's he talking about? And then I just seen this link from Pipes and Drums magazine. Let me tell you, I was flying out of bed.
Listen, your segue work needs improved, by the way. I'm going to say that right now with my firing live. Your segue work needs improved.
Is that what you're talking about?
But we're not going to talk about Speech. We're not going to talk about that guy. We're not going to talk about the other guy.
Look, let's get the priorities in order. Yeah.
Wait a minute, it's not going to be the me show. This is the me show. Us. It's us. It's about us. Can it all be about us, Jason? There's other guys out there.
So who you got?
Right, at the minute, right, I'm mega into Sweet Beats.
Yeah.
Right, so I love the whole idea that he does that the kind of post, you know, the kind of Postman Pat. Yeah, the theme tunes for certain things. I text that I want it the Sweeney. Right, and if anybody doesn't know what that is, it's a show circa 1970s, 80s, where all the cops smoked, drank, were really unhealthy and all that, punched folk, you know, it was kind of meant to be gritty and all that. And I loved the music for it. I liked the intro music and I loved the outro music, right? Oh. I thought it was really good, really clever. And so I texted Matt, do the Sweeney. So I don't know if he's done the Sweeney.
Could you not?
Because,
what's the Columbo theme like? Could you get him to do a cover of Columbo?
The Columbo theme.
Drop a fat beat on that.
See, the Columbo theme is normally, it varies because the Columbo's a film.
What?
I'm thinking, do you know change it? I've watched thousands of Columbos, right? That's a great question. Normally, it just kind of starts.
So it's kind of like a James Bond type.
And then at the end, you get the tune. I don't know. That's one for the watchers. I guarantee you somebody will be all that and write in and go, Lady, you're talking rubbish again. I'm like, fair enough.
You just proved that you fall asleep as soon as the movie starts.
I do, because I know every single one, right? I just keep opening my eye. And then the wins are like, try to sneakily turn it out. Oh, I was watching that. Can I pack up? Now, the only reason I say that, right, is because clearly I'm not watching it, right? Yeah. But the only reason I say that is because I know that whatever they put on will annoy me and I'll not be able to sleep through it. So basically, I'm saying put it back on so I can fall back asleep. Anyway, moving on for the socials. Nate Smith. I'm a bit late in the game with this guy.
Yeah, as if you just bring up Nate Smith now.
I know I'm a loser, but listen, I don't know whether it's an age thing, right? Yeah. But it's not really, because he's going to be circa, what age is Nate Smith? He's not a young guy.
No, but he popped up around 2020, 2018.
I get some forgiveness.
Yeah. Because, to the international world, you know, in the jazz scene in America, I'm sure he was.
He's massive. Yeah, he is massive. Anyway, so I'm in America, and I'm in the hotel where I was sharing a room with William Paul, aka Happy Meal, right? And he goes, you heard this guy called Nate Smith? Only puts express thyself. I had to listen to it about 3 times. I was like, this guy's obviously at some sort of mad wizardry. What in God's holy trousers is this man doing?
He's just
fantastic work.
He's just pulling it out of his brain. He's just
it's so fluid. It's so clever. It's so it's just banging.
Yeah.
And once you've heard that, or once you've heard any stuff, you're going to go back and drink more water because it's really good.
It'll just take your face off, honestly. Like you'll just be sitting there and it'll just be him, no guitars, nothing, accompaniment, and he'll take you on a journey, verse, chorus, just with beats, man.
Again, he might be one of the guys that just convinces you to throw your sticks away.
Yeah. Or, as I did, buy his sticks.
But listen, this is like people that buy Fitbit shirts, right? You know, I'm not a big soccer fan, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying soccer because obviously there is one or two people listen to us, like 1 or 2 wee dots in the world, right? So I'm saying soccer, right? So people put on their kind of Rangers tap or their Celtic tap or their Motherwell tap. I hate Motherwell, by the way. Right. Right. Anyway, so wrong side of the Clyde, see the other side? Keep them out there. Right, anyway. So people put on their taps and they walk about and they think, that's me, I'm part of it. You're not part of the team, you're part of just the whole spectacle of it. But basically, it's not going to be, buying the Predator boots or whatever, or the expensive Fitbit boots when you're really rotten at Fitbit. Guess what? You are rotten at Fitbit. You're not going to improve, mate.
Doesn't help.
Andy Laird buying the best sticks in the world. These sticks are £10,000, Mr. Laird. They'll improve your drumming. Yeah. Enough that you can maybe do a roll or something like that, but it's not going to make you.
But there's something to those Nate Smith sticks. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not saying they make me a better drummer, but they're 5As, right? So they're pretty light. But
yeah,
the Nate Smith one's even lighter. But so you wouldn't be using it if you're playing Akadaka in a heavy right? If you don't play
that's AC/DC to the rest of the world, by the way.
Oh,
Akadaka.
Yeah,
AC/DC to the rest of the world, right?
But if you're trying to hit like articulate notes, like letting your left hand fly and you're just gliding around the drums, I'm telling you, those sticks, not that I know anything about that, but those sticks can certainly help.
No, I got I got where you're coming from, you know what I mean? It's it does make a difference.
I don't usually like to buy those custom, like the sticks with someone's name on it, except for Stephen Crichton ones. But
I like it, you get that in there. He's a big burly guy, by the way, and you'll see him at the world. What are you saying about my sticks? What? Grab me.
There's got to be something to him. There's got to be something to him. That's all I'm saying. And
right,
that's how I feel. Let's get back to the main topic here.
Now you can segue us. What else did you see on social media, Jason?
Oh, well, I just happened to be scrolling along on social media, across my favorite pipe band news journalism channel, the Pipes and Drums magazine.
Yeah.
And there do I see Lairdy standing in all his glory over in Carnegie Hall, snare on his...
Listen, I've got to tell you about this. I've got to give you a bit of back brief to this story, right? So, I wrote an email, right? I'm unabashed. Like, listen, obviously we need to get the message out there that the Veterans Pipe Band is a real thing. We're really trying to do something at the World Pipe Band Championships. It's a good thing for guys that aren't in bands. A good thing for guys that want to kind of get back into bands. Whatever, right? There's a whole multitude. So, Norrie Gillis, the pipe major, was like to me, he goes, do you know what? You should maybe write to Pipes and Drums magazine, and then they could maybe feature us as like a feature. That would get the message out there, because it'll probably be a lot more people to watch the show. I'm like, right, okay, given. And then fire the article to them, right? Fire the letter. So I wrote a letter. Hi all, or hi y'all. Is it kind of everybody's into saying that, isn't they? Definitely for America, hey, somewhere. Hi y'all. My daughters are saying it. It's driving me mental. Stop. If you're South Lanarkshire, stop. Anyway, so hi all. Blah blah blah, and I just kind of wrote a kind of blurb statement saying, this is who we are. This is kind of what we're trying to achieve. This is the kind of mission behind the band. I'm going to be doing lead tip, and the pipe major is going to be Norrie Gillis. That sort of ilk. Thanks very much for your time. Sent it off. 24 hours later, I got a phone call for the pipe major. He's like, have you been online? I'm like, no. He's like, that story's up. I'm like, what story? Goes, the article about the band. And I'm thinking, I just sent the letter yesterday night. So I'm thinking, how's this possible? How is this possible, right? So it goes back to my desk, right, the next day, kind of thing, and I'm like, opens up the link and I looks at it. I'm like, wow, that is an article about us, a fantastic article about us. But what I realised is there was 3 key points. So Norman Gillis was like to me, he goes, oh, they've wrote hundreds of stuff about me. He goes, they've wrote nothing about you, right? It's just like, layered this, layered that. I'm like, what's going on here? He goes, did you not mention that you were drum major of the Argyles? Did you not mention that you were started off as a Gordon Highland or not? Did you mention that?
I did think there should be a little bit more about.
Listen, it gets better. I meant, well, no, I didn't think I was writing the article. I just thought I was writing a letter to highlight the band. To then, I thought somebody's going to come back and go, you know, like the reporter guy. But what about this? What about that? No. Just there it is. Right, the letter was good enough.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I'm going to say to people is I'm getting massive pelters about this. Right. We're in the United States. We're in New York. We've got a sound check at the Carnegie Hall or the Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie. That's better.
Carnegie. I knew a guy called Carnegie. We called himself Carnegie, right? That doesn't matter. So the bottom line is we went to go for the hotel to the sound check, and then later on we were going to get changed and do the show. Point number 1, right? The weather in New York was like Scotland in October. It was kind of quite cold and wet and windy, and it was cold. So it was indoors doing the sound check. When I went outdoors, I thought I need to go and get something to put on. Hence the Benny top. There's a wee tourist shop round the corner for the hall.
Yeah.
And I bought the obligatory New York Police Department sweatshirt, right? Yeah. I thought it's a bit apart because it's that bad. I put it on. So I'm wearing that now, pair of shorts and a pair of flip-flops. However, on my harness is my medals because there's no room for the medals underneath the harness. So they're on the harness. So whilst I'm doing the sound check, I've got the harness on. The pelters I've got for that is unbelievable, by the way. So people, there is a story behind the actual picture. So go easy on me.
It's like...
Oh, no, wait a minute. Hashtag be kind. No, don't be kind. You can give me the pelters. I deserve it. Because if I seen somebody else doing it, they'd be getting pelters off me as well. So guess what? Aye. If the shoe
that's
fits,
just your style, man. That's just your style. That's how you do it, you know?
That's fair enough, man. So, and that's the story behind the story, if you know what I mean. So it was good that they actually took the story and ran with it. Because obviously we're still interested in getting people. MD that's been left. Now, I've already stipulated we can get guest players, right? It's not just solely for a specific segue of people. We can have guests, but we're limited to the guests. We're limited to 25% of the sum total of the band. So that's in the Constitution, so it's written, so it shall be done. Here endeth the lesson. However, what we're more interested in is MD out there that wants to be an ally. So, like, I can only think of a bus company that wants to use a free bus. That's my next task. I have to chase that up next week. So see when everybody's saying that they're busy, I've got all these people that I'm trying to actually squeeze like an empty toothpaste tube, something out of them. And I obviously we mentioned the people that kind of helped us out. To start there, and McCallum's, Who Dares Cares, all these kind of people have helped us out. So I was glad to see the story. I didn't think it would be that fast. That was my point. I was like, wow. So read the story. If you think there's anything in it, join us or die.
Wait.
That's in Star Wars, isn't it? Join us or die. And Darth Vader says that to his boy.
Is it?
I think he does. Aye. Return of the Jedi. By the way, you know what, I'm a Star Wars fan now. They destroyed my childhood, like I've said, right?
100%. Mine too.
The first three, right? Banging. Then he went and just ruined it. So, I mean, I don't think you get lines like that in Star Wars anymore. Join us or die. Well, it's quite deftly.
Got chills.
So, talking about the band.
Yeah. You've been a busy bee.
Talking about being busy, let's talk about score writing in schools. Because the medley was... So, just to lay it out here. Here's where I am, right? It's easier. I'm not saying it's easy, right? But it's easier for a piper. He says, right, I'm going to pick the medley, right? So, he goes to his wee book, his Gordon Highlanders book, or his Scots Guards book, or his... I don't know, whoever's book's the flavour of the month for that month. And he says, I'll pick that tune, this tune, and that tune. Yep. He might put a variant on it, might put a flavour on it. Yep. Pretty much the hard work's done apart from learning it and how they want to phrase that. Right? So I get that. There's an art in that, and there's an art in the blend, how they want to do it, like blending a good whiskey, how you want the flavours to sound.
Yeah.
I get all that. And that makes a difference between a good pipe major and a rubbish pipe major kind of thing. Well, musicality wise.
Yeah. The details.
Drummer, right? You want to be the lead drummer and you want to get kudos for that, right? So bear in mind, getting this straight out there, the MSR was done by other people. I never done the MSR. Not mine. Right?
Yep.
Simon Grant dug it for us for that. And Rab McCutcheon's also dug it for us on that. Right. So here's the thing, right? So they assisted because I felt there was a time pressure because we were behind the curve when we came up with this idea. We came up with this idea this year.
Yeah, early. Well,
aye. So it was kind of behind the curve for what a normal pipe band would do because we were done at the end of last year type thing. Anyway. So the medley, sitting down the medley, trying to get that in the head, trying to get that done, how that should sound, what I think that sounds like, blah, blah, blah. And then trying to do the staff notation for it. So my point is the beat notes, subdivision of, I didn't think that dramatic, but the actual staff notation, arithmetic, and making sure that your irregular groups and things all add up That's a different kettle of fish.
Mm.
So my point is to people out there is, do they find it difficult? Like, so for instance, Neil Sloan, may he rest in peace, right? Lovely pair of hands, great hands, right?
Yeah.
Great hands. But staff notationally, poor.
Yeah.
Right? However, drum corps all can read what he says, because most drummers can draw a flam, can draw a triplet, can draw, most drummers can roughly
get the main bits,
get the meat and two veg on paper, but it might not be this is what I'm saying, staff notationally correct, right?
Yes.
So moving on to that, right? So he was a good drummer. Phil Collins, good drummer. I know. I can see your eyebrows going and all that. I love that guy, right?
Yeah.
I love the early Genesis, by the way. It's actually superfluous, right?
But what are you saying that he didn't write
early
any
Genesis
of that down?
is just an amazing one. But
what you're saying is that he didn't write any of that down?
No, he didn't write it staff notationally. He's never wrote staff notationally. In fact, there's a famous thing if you watch the drum wheel thing about Phil Collins.
Saying about Tarzan or something.
No, about Tarzan. He got a gig. Who was in the room? I mean, we're talking like big drummers. I can't mind. I don't want to mention big drummers' names in case it's the wrong guys.
Yeah.
But there was three of them.
And they're watching.
Aye, and they'll be watching on their tour bus a lot. I can hardly wait to see what Laird and Jason's got to say. But basically, right, he was like that. He got this gig. And it's like later on in years, because obviously he's got Grammys and all that, and they go like, I can't mind for the life of me, man. He's got three drummers, and he gets a playing part, like quite a few bars to play. But they've all got sheet music in front of them, and he can't read sheet music.
Yeah.
So my point is that his drumming credentials or Neil Sloan's drumming credentials, are that then binned? Are they rubbish?
Definitely not.
No, but you know what I mean?
Guys can still play,
Or do you have a lack of imagination, right? And you can staff notationally write 1,000% correct.
Yeah.
Right? But the music just isn't popping. Yeah. But everybody can read it. You know what I mean? Everybody can read it and go, oh, I know exactly what that is. I can see it. It's perfectly right and it makes perfect sense and it's perfectly musical or staff notational. But then they go, but it's really pedestrian.
Yeah. It's just kind of,
I don't know. Or it could be worse. It could be staff notational incorrect and musically pedestrian.
Yeah,
you've got a double there.
Is this what people say about like when that rote learning versus like watching someone and learning off them? And it's like you can kind of get more of a.
Well, I'm going to say this, right? I think so. Our ambassador, Matthew Brownlee,
yes,
his father texted me when I was talking about this, about writing music. And he said that he's been showing Matthew and explaining to Matthew about music and about staff notation, right? Which is grand. And I genuinely think if you go around all the schools now and you go around 99.9% of places, the people that are doing, drumming and teaching the kids how to drum, they'll be using staff. Well, Simon Grant, for instance, right? One of the most busiest working drum tutors I know. I'm telling you right now, that guy is a machine, right? He's really good at what he does. And I'm a big fan of Simon's. Obviously, I'm in his pocket now because I've asked him to do me a favour and he's like, aye, all right, there you go, you clown. But apart from that, he is a hard-working guy, right? He's a hard-working guy. He's pedal rep. He's also rudimental pads. He's, he's a busy guy and he does his band Edinburgh City. He also does the kids at Preston Lodge. He's done brilliant work with him, right? And he's demonstrated that he's a really, really, really good top-class instructor. And he's all his stuff, staff notational. You can see his videos, go online. It shows you staff notation. It shows you what he's playing. Perfect, right? Versus circa 1980 or 19 whatever.
No,
if you went back there, you're getting guys that are just showing people that wrote rotation. This is a paradiddle playing it, you phonically learning it, and then away you went.
Yeah.
And then so people were being turned into phonic drummers.
Yes.
Right. And then they're being, and I think that's, to be honest, right. And it's not a now thing. I think I'm talking past tense, and I think this is a demonstration of how good pipe bands have evolved to an extent where the more literate the drummers in the pipe band world become, the more interflexed we become with other world drummers. Right? So I think I think the bottom, when you boil it all down, the actual power of being good is you need to have the staff notational knowledge,
be able
because then you can understand what other people are doing, and they don't need to be sitting over your shoulder like a crow going, no, 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 no. They can just change it, and you can read it.
Something that I'll from back in my piano days, you would learn a piece of music based on the melody, right? You think about how it sounds, where you're going.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I started learning staff notation for pipe band drumming, and then actually trying to write it down myself and like compose a tune or whatever.
Yeah.
You start to realize your understanding of rhythm in music is way more like you're there. And I think that goes into what you're saying when you go and talk to other musicians. If you look at their piece of music, you don't have to look at the notes, but you can look at where the dots and the cuts and the beats and the ups and downs they're all hitting, and you can kind of like work out where you need to be there.
So what I'm saying out there to the drumheads is that I'm not chastising anybody, right? I'm just saying, I'm just highlighting the difference that some people are phonic drummers, some people have got phonic, and well, they've got the staff notation to back up the hands. And that's what I'm asking. I'm asking, what's the general consensus? What do people think about it? I mean, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see, right? If we could get a guy from the pit, the percussional pit in the orchestra, right? So he plays marimba, he plays everything, man. He plays everything that he can pretty much hit, apart for the piano, which he probably can play, but there's somebody else does that. But you know what I mean? So this is a guy, the kit drum, he's the everything, right? He's a percussion guy.
Yeah.
I wonder if the percussion master guy, be interesting to see if we get him and we're like, right, this is Stevie Crichton scores.
Yeah.
Or this is Kerr scores.
Yeah.
And he's like, right, no bother. He's like,
do they look at that, or do they say no bother, or do they go, what the hell, where's the other line?
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm going to say. Or do they go do they look at it and go, what's this? You're like, that's grade one. That's top the line, mate. He's like,
you're like, it's not done.
Yeah, but it's not finished, mate. You're like, I don't know. This is my point. This is what I'm trying to aim at. I am not in any form of shape or form any very good at staff notation, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just asking the questions. I want to be the guy that asks the questions. I'm not giving you the answer. I'm not that kind of guy, right? I'm just going to be the guy that goes, here's a question. So I understand that guys are writing their scores. They might be staff notationally correct. I want to know how transferable they are. As the guy in the pit that's in the orchestra, see like that. You know what? I can play that. They might have there might be some nuances that are difficult, but I'm wondering if he would be quite play this. I mean, it must be like, I don't know, the head guy, the Berlin Philharmonic. If he's like that, yeah, what is this? Schottische drumming. I also like listening to Jimmy Nail and Crocodile shows at the weekend. I mean, I don't know, but his name, you know his name is. We're
gonna get that guy on the show, by the way.
I gotta get him. What's your name? Hans.
Great Hans.
He's Great Hans. That was my grandfather. Great Hans. So,
yeah, I mean, we've got it. The pipe band world has got it over the American drum scene. I'm 100% going to say this because we differentiate your left and your right just by using one line. But they'll put everything with four staves all in one, and you kind of know what's right. Left.
Do you know who we should have? Do you know, actually, we missed an opportunity because we had Mr. Michael Eagle on the show.
Michael Eagle.
And that guy is doing pipe band, American rope drumming, which Loyal Drums, I don't know if you've seen that thing. Rope drumming, there's a lot of thing.
They're playing pipe band stuff.
They're playing pipe band stuff. And so
they're doing
it. So my question is that would have been the guy to ask?
Yeah. We didn't know enough at that time. See, now you're doing a bit of composing.
We've missed our moment. That sums us up, mate. Too late, the heroes.
But I guess,
we're here, everybody.
What you're saying, like, it's kind of an expectation of a lead pipe band drummer to be able to write the scores. When a pipe band says, "Hey, we've got this new tune," and you're like, "Well, I haven't got anything for that." You're off in the basement. You're scrambling away day and night. You're trying to write a masterpiece.
Well, this is another thing, right? So here's the other thing, right? And let's just think about the whole kind of difference in mindset, right? So you can be a piper with great fingers, right? Great piping ability, right? But you don't necessarily need to be a great composer, right? You don't necessarily need to be a great composer.
Yeah.
You can go and do all the solos, win the plaudits, win the awards. You don't need to say, "I've wrote this tune." Hi, they go to, what's the big one? The Open Gathering or something like that. Or, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Gailshire Gathering, there they go. Up they go. And they're like, "No, I know I was going to play an MSR, but I've played an MSR that I've wrote today." They'd be like, "Just get off." I don't know if that. Well, I need to ask one of these Piper type guys. I'll ask Norrie Gillis because he's doing a solo circuit, right?
Right.
He's not going to go and play his tunes.
You don't get an extra flex, you don't get extra points for.
No, he's going to go and play. He's going to go and play other people's tunes that are tried and trusted and accepted by the greater piping fraternity.
Yeah.
So that's my point. Whereas somebody like Stevie Crichton, right, is going to be marked and judged, or Mick O'Neill, or you know what I mean, or any of the other, or Kieran McQuillan. They're all going to be marked and judged on their composition.
Yeah. They will be judged on the composition.
They will be. That's what they're judged on, their composition.
Wow.
So it's their composition. So you can have the two, and this is where it makes it. This is where it makes it kind of complex for people. Is that when they go in the park and they play their stuff. So band A walks on, plays band B and band C, right? And the judge goes like that. Aye, but I don't really like their stuff. I mean, there's thousands of folks say that every competition that they go, "What do you think of that band?" I like them, but I'm not really. They're all right, but I don't really like their stuff, right? Which is an acceptable thing to say. It's a bit like me going, "Do you like?" I'm going to hit them again, right? But no, I'm not, because the guy will follow with me every time I say it and all that. But you know what I mean? It's like because every time I pick a band to hate on, right? It's always kind of the same band that I use, right? You know what I mean? So I'm going to pick another band, right? So in fact, I picked Genesis. There you go.
Yeah, I knew you'd come back to Genesis some way or another.
The old Genesis, right? Old Genesis is banging, right? I think. But obviously, I could ask somebody else and be like, I just don't really get it. I'm not really into that.
Yep.
I don't really enjoy that. And I'm like, well, that's fair enough, right? No, everybody can be as gifted as them and everybody get the cleverness of them. I get that. You can sit down. You're obviously a bit of a dafty, right? But the point is, right? The point is that it's for everybody's taste. So band A goes on and folk go, and the judges reflect that as well. They'll be like, they'll have the flavour that they like. And then band C, they're like, "Oh, we love that band." What?
It's something in high school, when you do like say an art project and you do a painting and it's like some mad painting of a forest or whatever, you're like, "Yeah, wow, that's amazing." But then the next kid has drawn like a picture of a naked chick riding a dragon, breathing fire on a castle, and they're like, "No, that's not going to cut it." And you're like, "But it's good. It's art.
It's art." But that's the whole point, isn't it? So the composition of the drum scores, if they're metronomically correct, makes it subjective.
Is this not the whole thing with writing drum scores in the pipe band world, right? Is like you're kind of, if it's me versus you, we're trying to see who can put notes in different places within the subdivisions of those things and even add complexity like drags and buzzes. And so it's just altering the.
And then there's some people that want less is more.
That's right.
Some people want more. Some people want it. Let's get that divided more. Let's get more into that.
Just leave a space for 2 bars.
And some people could argue that and that's the thing, isn't it? Some people could either argue, oh, it's too easy. So I'm going to reference him again, right? John Scullion, right? John Scullion's drumming, if you listen to John Scullion's drumming, right, a lot of people at the time weren't that much a fan of John Scullion's drumming, right? Especially people at the time that were judging. And I don't think so. There's a certain kind of arc to his drumming. There's a certain sort of kind of he is wanting more out of his drum corps. So I suppose what you're asking the question is the technicality. Is his composition demanding more technicality? And therefore, this is the bizarre thing, and I get this doesn't always need to be the case. Is that technicality so difficult that only the 9 guys can play it, and the other 9 guys that are playing pedestrian stuff, they can't play what they're playing, so ergo, by default, the technical drum corps should win it.
They're better.
They're better, but they're not. That's my point. That's my point. That's the mathematical answer, right? But it might not be the subjective answer.
Yes.
Right? So there's a lot in there to discuss every day. So I'm going to leave it there because we could talk about that all day and folk will be bored. I've got things to be getting on me, so I've only got a finite amount of time to be on the show. So
if you want to say something, you just write it in. You just write it in opposite the drum score.
Text it. Text it, Tiz. Fax me a question.
This ain't over.
Andrew Laird stuck in the 70s. Just one thing about Andrew Laird stuck in the 70s. Remember how I referenced the fact that I wrote to Stevie Crichton's son, right? And I said, listen, it was your dad. I was trying to get in touch with you, right? And he's like, right. Then Stevie texts back and says, so message me back, DM me back, PM me back. He says, look, you're trying to get in touch with me. Did you message my son? I went, aye, I'm sorry, I'm rotting at social media, right? Wait, to compound this, right? Because people might think, I think he's making this up, right? To compound this, one of the drummers in the drum corps, right? I texted her and I was asking her a question, right? So I messaged her on the messenger.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that. I should have messaged her on WhatsApp, and I'll tell you for why, right? So I messaged her on Messenger, and then I put my phone in my pocket, and then I heard my phone ringing. I took my phone out, and it was on face thing, right? The face call thing, right? But her face isn't on, right? Her face doesn't come up. My face is up. My big stupid face is up. But this person's phoning me, right? So I'm thinking this person's phoning me. I'm like, hello. Right, like a pocket old guy. Hello, what's the... Look, there's a character called Biscuity Boyle. Anybody that doesn't know who it is, right? Go and check him out. It's in Burniston. Biscuity Boyle. Oh, hello.
That's good stuff.
Right? So she's like, Andy, I'm at my work. What difference does that make? You're phoning me.
Cheers, yeah.
No, you clown. You're phoning me at my work whilst I'm doing my work.
Dude.
So, Vicky, sorry for phoning you. Please take the apology. I'm sorry about that. This is the kind of guy I am.
And
well,
anybody who's affected in future by...
Well, listen.
Didn't mean it.
Here's the other one. So, one, apologies for my social media garbageness, right? I'll tell you how bad it is. Reference the post that I put up that folk might have thought was professional on Instagram.
Yeah.
They might have went like that. That doesn't strike me. Did you see how good that was?
Like, how did he do that?
Hey!
Did
you think I took a magic pill that could help me do that? Or do you actually think I asked a guy half my age that works beside me and went, here, stick that on that thing where you do that thing and they things can happen? And he's like that. Right, there you go.
I knew it was too good to be true.
So thanks, Liam, for doing that for me. So 1 minute, people might get reassured.
You're hired, Liam.
People might get reassured, be thinking, well, a guy can work social media. Look at that. That's banging, right? That wasn't me. That's how it worked.
It wasn't even that it was banging. It was just normal. It was just what you'd expect.
That wasn't me. So,
thanks, Liam.
Apologies to all. No apologies to MD that's a big heavy hitter on the drum scene out there. Nick Smith, for instance. I did text him and go, me and Jason think you're banging, get on the show. He must have thought this was written by some lunatic, right, that was in medical care. He must have been like, I don't even know who this guy is. Why would somebody write this? But
I can guarantee you he wants to do it, but his agent's telling him no. It's just his agent.
I believe that. Let me keep that dream going. It's just his agent that hates us, mate. Just his agent. Right. Scores done. Ooh. Sticks, heavy or light. So basically, when Willie Laird said the thing about the drumsticks, before I went to the States, as I went to America, they get delivered. Right? Yeah. It's the top secret ones. Agna.
Nice.
Right? So I got these badgers, and by the way, all I'm going to say is, Willie Laird, thanks very much. It was like going from driving a tractor when you use these to then you pick up your own sticks, like driving a Ferrari.
Wow.
That's how I would describe it. Okay. It's like driving a big truck or something. Then all of a sudden, you get into a wee sporty car and you're away. Aye, gone.
Okay.
So that's that. I couldn't believe the difference. I thought maybe it was an old wives' tale. And I don't know whether people would be like, that's just a lot of rubbish. You're just getting yourself a needless a needless thing to do. I don't know. I kind of enjoy the feeling, the sensation. I don't know.
The weight training aspect of it. But I don't like I just feel like I'm wasting time. I feel like I'd rather just be doing the real thing with the real things that I'm going to use, doing the real thing.
Well, to be honest, right, I'm not sitting playing them for hours. I'm only playing, like, so for instance, I'll play the march once through before I do the MSR. And then I'll play the MSR. And talking about the MSR, all the drummers out there that are in the core, guys, you want to have that MSR off, because I've got it off, and that was me just really starting to look at it. So it's off. So it's a great MSR.
Yeah.
It should be off by now, right? It should be done. Guys, it's in even I've remembered it. And I've got a rotten memory. So ending it out there, it's not at that stage of development. The fire's getting lit under your feet right now. I'm thinking like we should do a cyber practice, like online, like an online practice.
That sounds
Teams
fun.
Practice.
Yeah.
But we could do it. What happens is everybody turns their sound down. Everybody mutes their sound.
That'd be good.
And I play. And then you stay in unison.
I like that.
The chips. Right? That's what allegedly that's what I get told. I can't remember who told me to do it. In fact, I don't know who told me to done it. I think Fife Police done it during the COVID. Probably everybody else done it during the COVID, but I'm just trying to reference who told me they'd done it. That's all. But I'm supposed that there's other guys do it, but I think they'd done that during COVID. So Mick would be playing, Mick and Neil would be playing, the rest of them would have their sound down, and they'd be playing along with him. Just trying to be a group thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it sounds good until someone's internet, bugs out, and then it's like...
Yeah, but that wouldn't matter, because the rest of them will still get the benefit.
Yeah, that's true.
Stop putting obstacles to my suggestion here. I can see you putting up wee barriers and all. Oh, but the internet thing,
I'm just trying to buy myself more time here, I reckon.
But it'll still benefit you. You can record it. You can record it and all that. I think that's about it for the show, by the way. I think we're kind of done. It's coming up to 6 o'clock in the evening in Australia. Am I right? And in Sydney.
Getting all these boxes out. So that's why you haven't heard from us for a wee while.
Okay, right. Well, listen, take care. I've got to kind of go and do things. You better find your Drum Score t-shirt, because I'll tell you what, our ambassadors definitely get one. Oh, and just a quick one, Simon Gavin, I've not forgot you. That's his beanie hat. Because remember about the paradiddle things?
Aye.
And I seen, social media, paradiddles, Simon Gavin, Pipe Band Museum, all sorts of good stuff. The Russell Esler drums pad. I know.
Yes, Russell Esler's involved too.
I've not responded to the 220 thing. I don't know if I will. I'm busy.
Don't know if I can.
And if I get the chance and I'm in the mood, I will do something. But I love this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Good work, Simon Gavin. Anyway, that's me. I've got to jet. Jace.
That's me too.
Have a good night.
Catch your drumheads.
Drumheads. Cheers. See you later.